What's up, everyone? Amen Villa here. Since the beginning of tech, every device makes a noise when you turn them on. One of the most notable are console startups. So today, I will look at my top 10 favorite console startups. If ever you find these types of videos interesting, be sure to leave a like and subscribe since it helps out a lot. But anyways, let's get into it. Number 10. Philips CDI. Now, if you have no idea what this is, I don't blame you. With less than 1 million units sold, the CDI was a failure for Philips, as they never entered the gaming market ever again. But despite that, I still like the startup. It shows the logo and it has a little jingle. In my opinion, the best part is the emphasis on CD, a new format that was the main selling point for newer consoles, such as the CDI. And for that reason, it is number 10 on this list. Number 9. PlayStation 3. The PS3 was a rocky journey for Sony. Even then, the startup is simple, and I like that. Note that the one I showed is the one from the fat PS3. The slim one has another version that has all of the violins in a harmonic tone, and it sounds a little like this. Personally, I prefer the original, but both are good and deserve the 9th spot on this list. Number 8. Original Xbox. Okay, this is where the list gets a little controversial. Normally, this one is a top 3 for most gamers. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but something just seems a little off. More specifically, a feeling of dead air where nothing is really going on. To explain better, the long build-up of the flashes goes on for far too long and it ends with the Xbox logo. I just find the ending a little anticlimactic and it's not really powerful. Despite that, it is a classic and it does deserve the 8th spot on this list. Number 7. Nintendo GameCube. Okay, before you go cancel me, hear me out for a second. The same problem with the original Xbox is present here. The repetitive cube jingles don't create a satisfying ending with that doom. Despite that, it does get points for the creativity and the abundance of memes that were made. It also doesn't drag on as much as the original Xbox, which is why it is 7th on this list. Number 6. Xbox 360. This is my type of startup. Quick build-up and a satisfying ending with that whoosh. Not only that, but the presence of the green ring is smart because of the console's name, 360. Get it? Because it's a circle. Note that Microsoft released a new startup when the Kinect came out, and it looks like this. Personally, both are amazing, but I prefer the old one because of the whoosh. It's just that good, which is why it is number 6 on the list. Number 5. PlayStation 2. The best-selling console of all time better have a good startup to accompany it, and it does. The blue cubes are also a nice touch, as they represent the amount of save data in your memory cards. The background noise also draws any dead air, which is why I prefer this one over the GameCube and the Xbox. Overall, this startup is pure nostalgia for any gamer, and is deserving of the 5th spot on this list. Number 4. Xbox One X. So the reason I specify the letter X is because of one thing, the CPU at the beginning. Sure, there's a bit of dead air, but it makes up for that with pure and nice visuals showcasing the graphical beast that was the Xbox One X. Note that the regular Xbox One startup doesn't have the chipset, it's just the green screen at the end. I honestly think that the regular startup is a little bit basic, but because of that addition, the sleeker young cousin, the Xbox One X, gets the 4th spot on this list. Number 3, Sega Dreamcast. Short and simple. The letters appear as water drops sound, and it's capped off with the Dreamcast swirl. This one gets points for originality. Note that if you own a European Dreamcast, the swirl will appear blue instead of red. Even if Sega consoles are no longer with us, their memory lives on, with the Dreamcast being number 3 on this list. Number 2, Xbox Series X. A short yet powerful intro sound that can hype anyone up almost as if the Xbox Series X is welcoming you to a new era of gaming. However, if you listen carefully, it kinda sounds like the Windows startup, more specifically Windows 98. You would just appreciate how well the Xbox logo transitions into the intro. It's so clean, and it deserves the 2nd spot on this list. Now before we move on to number 1, I would like to go through 2 honorable mentions. Sega Saturn. It's alright. It's an inferior version of the Dreamcast, but it's still pretty good. Note that the Japanese intro is different, and it sounds like this. Personally, I prefer the more quiet North American version, but I mean, they're fine. Nintendo 64 DD. So the official N64 does not have a startup, but its disc reader did. Wait, disc reader? So to explain, Nintendo released a CD add-on for the Nintendo 64. However, due to it being commercial failure, it only launched in the beautiful land of Japan. It's a simple startup, but I don't know, I'm not a fan of this one. But it's better than no startup at all. Too bad it never saw the daylight outside of its motherland. But now, it's time to move on to the number 1. Number 1, PlayStation 1. This is epic. Come on, the sounds send chills in my spine. Everyone puts this one number 1, and it's easy to see why. You press the power button, and this appears. It screams technology and nostalgia. You are now ready to game. No console has ever made a better startup in my opinion, and I don't think we will ever see a better startup than the PlayStation 1. Sony nailed it, as they are the winners of this list at number 1. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment if you want to give me some video ideas and feedback. Anyways, it has been me, Ahmed Villa, and I will see you next time.